When you're finished working for the day and it's time to clean up and put your things away, it's really important that we wrap everything up really well so that your piece does not dry out. If you don't wrap things well enough, air is going to come in, and the next day you come to work, your stuff's going to be a hard mess and it'll be really difficult to work with. Sometimes you might even need to start over if you don't do it well enough. So what you need to do is have your pieces or whatever you're working on some kind of board usually. If it's going to be more than one day that your project is going to be sitting out, it might be a good idea to put some plastic down on top of the board, because whatever your clay is sitting on, if it's canvas or if it's masonite or some kind of board, it's absorbent, so it's going to suck the moisture out of your clay. If you don't want that to happen, you want to make sure you have plastic underneath it. Maybe you want to even spray your piece if it's starting to get kind of dry and you don't want it to be dry. In this case, I have brand new clay, so it's really wet, and before I can do anything to it, I need to be able to have it stiff enough that I can pick it up and it's not going to bend or flop around. So what I'm going to do to wrap it up, I'm going to take a plastic bag. You can use just flat sheets of plastic too, doesn't really matter. And make sure there's no holes anywhere. If there are, you want to make sure the holes are underneath your bag. I'm going to take my board and I'm going to really gently just slide it inside the bag, trying not to really hit my clay pieces, especially if you're starting to build up. This starts to get a little difficult. Maybe you want to have a friend help you out. So I'm going to really gently press the air out as much as I can, pick up the board and wrap the plastic underneath the board. The weight of the clay in the board is going to help just keep everything closed. So this is really all I need to do. Now, if you're working with a lot of other people, it's a really good idea to label your stuff. So just take a piece of tape, place it on top, write your name on it. That way you won't lose anything. And if you are going over a weekend and you aren't going to be around to work on things, maybe you want to use 2 bags or spray it with some water and make sure it's wrapped up really tightly. And that is how we wrap up clay.